watching Borat.
Have fun. Is it out right now?
So
Damn.
it came out at midnight.
Yo,
What's
what's up?
up, bro?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good.
You didn't have to flex on me with the NFL email domain.
That's just the email that I use now.
That's sweet, dude. Um. So yeah, I mean, before I ask you any questions, how is everything going this year so far? Decent.
It's been awesome. I'm loving it. I'm up here in New York, like 30 minutes outside New York City. I'm living at my parents' house. I'm taking 4 online classes, doing that during the week, and then filming every Sunday, or if we have prime time, Thursday, Monday, whatever the day is.
Right. That's sweet, dude. So you're originally from New York?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So when did you know this is what you wanted to do? Like it sparked an interest. Like was it something you knew in high school that like you wanted to do one day? Like did you ever shoot it all in high school that sort of inspired you to continue to do that afterwards? I know in
Yeah,
college you shot at Richmond, but I mean anything prior to that that really.
Yeah, my senior year of high school, a lot of my buddies wanted me to, because I was like kind of into this stuff, but like not even close to like what I, thought. I thought like that I like was kind of good at this, and I would make like little graphics and like other kind of highlights. Like I would make like highlights for like the Giants practice squad players, right?
Right.
And like if they posted it on their Twitter or something, like I'd be hyped. And like
Yeah.
now I work for the team. So, um, but yeah, like my friends wanted me to do this. They wanted me to work on their basketball team social media account. So I worked on Rye High School varsity basketball's Instagram, and basically I grew it from like nothing to like I think it has probably like 2, 3 thousand followers now. And I just got like really good that year at like just making graphics and shooting videos and taking pictures. So it was just kind of from there, I was like, I don't know if I want to do it like for real, but like it was definitely something I was good at. And I was like, why not just like continue this? It doesn't need to be my job. Like I can still do it on the side, but like I ended up just getting really good at it.
That's awesome. What'd you study at Richmond?
I'm studying like film studies. They don't have like the best film studies programs because it's a smaller school, but just take what they give me and go with the flow and just trying to graduate.
Yeah, for sure. So when you got to Richmond your freshman year, was shooting for their athletics program something that you knew you wanted to do when you got admitted, your senior year? So you went and were there any sort of connections that you may have had prior to going there, or something that you sort of made yourself once you got there to get in a position where you're able to work for them?
Yeah, great question. I reached out to this guy named Jason Vita. He is our sports information director. I don't know if you're like familiar with college athletics teams, but like the SID basically does every single thing for the team. They
Right.
handle the media, they shoot, edit, produce everything. I mean, at like a school like Richmond, we don't have like a full-time video photo team like a
Right.
dude. So this guy like was doing everything. And I emailed him. I was like, I'd love to help out, blah, blah, blah. And he saw my stuff and was like, let's do it. And then I like to think that, I really helped the social presence for our team the last few years and the last 2 years. And we were, able to bring in some really high recruits. And hopefully this season, we're supposed to be top 25. But one of our best players has tore their ACL. So it's kind of unfortunate.
That's tough. Yeah, for sure. I mean, from what I've seen that you've put out for Richmond, like myself, I personally think that you've probably definitely had an influence on like stuff that they do like single-handedly. So that's huge for sure.
Thanks, bro.
Let's see. I saw that you had an internship after college, correct? Vayner Sports, if I'm not mistaken.
That was in my after my freshman year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that sort of so you were shooting college basketball, and then from what I understand, this internship sort of helped you I mean both shoot at a bigger spectrum, but it's sort of focused on NFL athletes, correct?
Yeah. Well, okay. So basically I DM'd a VaynerSports agent named Brian McLaughlin, who fast forward like 3 years now, like I'm going to his wedding next June. Like
Okay.
good friend of mine now. Like it's just crazy how far, like I've come with them. So I DM'd them on Instagram. Like I was in my room, like I had like 2 or 3 drinks. Like I was just like feeling good.
Mhm.
And I was like, fuck it. Like, let me just, sorry if I'm
Oh,
not,
you're good. Don't worry about it.
I just said like, I'll just DM them and see what happens. And they responded. And I accepted an internship, which was going to be summer at first, but they ended up flying me down to the Super Bowl in Atlanta. And I shot the whole week there. So all their parties, events, everything.
Right.
And ended up meeting 2 really important guys who have like helped me like to this day, Quincy Avery and Jordan Palmer. And those 2 guys are the top 2 quarterbacks coaches in the country.
Yeah.
So, like between those guys, they train like Justin Fields, Deshaun Watson, Sam Darnold, excuse me, Josh Allen, Kyle Allen, pretty much everyone, every good quarterback trained with those 2 guys. So from there, from meeting them, I got to basically meet everyone because they're so well connected. And
Right.
it's the kind of lesson I learned that weekend was like, it's all about who you meet and like, how can you like bring value to them? So like I met these guys and I was like, yo, like let's make content. I made both of them like a super dope video, took great photos. And then from there, just like it kind of took off because I knew these 2 guys and like they saw like what I could do, I guess.
Right. Yeah. That shows that that's a big part of the industry is just networking and socializing and being able to find people who can bring you to bigger opportunities. And I'm sure you just sort of worked alongside them and then the people that they're training. So it's sort of just like you work, like you help them out, they'll help you, and so that's definitely a huge part of it.
100%.
So the next question I had was how are you able to gain connections to eventually be shooting for the Jets? But I'm sure, I mean, one thing after another just sort of led from meeting these people who are obviously such a big influence to you and gave you an opportunity to really work with these big names that how did you come about getting hired for the Jets? Well, MetLife, it is, right? It's the
Yeah,
Giants and the Jets.
I just do all the home games.
Okay. Yeah.
I think a good way to start is in July of 2019, VaynerSports for my internship flew me out to the ESPYs in LA. And ESPYs is a huge weekend just for like pop culture. And everyone's there. So I went to Quincy, who was, the first guy I told you about meeting in Atlanta, DM me and he was like, yo, I'm training with Deshaun, Odell, Saquon today. Like, can you come shoot? And I had a party to shoot. We were actually throwing like a huge darty, which was super cool at this mansion.
Right.
And I had to be there at like 11 o'clock a.m. to like get there and get set up and stuff. And I was talking to my boss and Brian, the agent I DM'd, was also DM'd me that he was at this workout because Kyle Allen was working out with these guys too. So I got 2 separate DMs and I originally said no to Quincy because I wasn't working. Like I had to like do my job. I was like, no, I'm sorry. Like I can't make it. But then Brian, one of our agents, was like, you have to come here. Like all these guys are here. So I called my boss, my other boss, David Jaffin, who now he runs like a player content representation kind of agency. He said like, no, like you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And then we ended up getting it settled with Brian and I ended up making the party on time. But at that shoot, I met Deshaun for the second time. So I really formed like that relationship. And then I met Saquon Sterling Shepard. And basically I told them, I was like, yo, like I live out east. If you guys ever need anything, let me know. Like I'll be in the area. So fast forward to the global pandemic, and I'm back in New York because of COVID. So I'm here from March. I'm still here, right? So
Right.
Shepard hits me up saying he'd like wants a personal like video person because their facilities closed down and they need someone to like record their routes, but also like get cool stuff. So I was like, all right, like bet. Like everyone's inside and like I get to go like out to the field and like work with some of my favorite players.
Right.
So I worked with them from like March to the day before training camp. And along the way, I got to work with Saquon again, and everyone, was seeing my videos and photos of these guys and they were really liking it. And Matt Swenson, who's the Giants photographer, was seeing all my stuff, and he DM'd me and said, yo, have you heard about the NFL LCC program? And I was like, yeah, like it sounds awesome. And he was like, yeah, like this guy, Russell, who's now my boss now at the league, said, we're looking for like people in the New York market. Would you be interested? And I was like, of course, like that would be incredible. So I go through the interview process with the Jets because I guess they didn't like, I was originally supposed to be Giants, but then they were like, would you want to do Jets? And I was like, of course.
Right.
So I go through the interview process, get it with the Jets, and then I shoot week 1 versus the 49ers. I did a really good job. I felt like I got the content out quickly and it was really good stuff. And he was like, congratulations, like we're bringing you on to do Giants as well. So now I'm here.
That's awesome, dude. So
Yeah.
what was the most I guess sort of surreal moment for you when you I guess thought that you made it? Like obviously shooting with like Saquon and OBJ is probably like a huge like wow, like this is like it's hard to believe that I'm here right now. Was it sort of then when you thought like, okay, this is gonna be smooth sailing from here and like I think I'm gonna do really well, or maybe like even when you got hired with the Jets?
Yeah. So I think the only time I've ever like literally been starstruck in my life was I'm walking out onto this field in LA and 2 guys are standing on this field that I have their jerseys hanging in my closet at home. Right. So I'm like, fuck, like this is crazy.
Yeah.
I think that was the moment. But, once you like work in this industry and like meet all these guys, like you'll realize that they're all just normal people.
Right.
And like, if you treat them like that, then they'll also like, be cool with you. So like you get to the point where it's like, these guys are just like me and they just make a little bit more money and like are incredible athletes.
Right. Yeah. So you're essentially, I mean, in this field, not so much that you're on your own or that it's freelance, but it's sort of the same respect. Like I'm sure you're working with a team and you're working for a huge organization, but I mean, in terms of getting shots and putting them out and stuff, you're essentially on your own. Am I wrong?
So basically I'll give you a good breakdown of how it works because not a lot of people understand. So basically we're assigned to we have like do you know what Slack is?
Yes, but no.
It's like GroupMe, but like for business.
Okay.
That's a good way to do it. Say it. So I get put in like a group chat today that's called like Bills LCC because I'm shooting Bills Jets on Sunday. In there will come with like my shot sheet, what shots I need to get pregame, what players I need to focus on. So it'll be like focus on Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, like blah, blah, blah. And then it will, give other kind of like directives that we need to follow. So like, I think this week the big focus is on like, I think they're going to have these like vote stencils. So a big focus is on like getting the shirts that say vote and like the field that says vote just to like get for socials. But when the game starts, I have another else. So for the Jets, I work with one other person. His name is Keith. He's great. And then for the Giants, I work with 2 other people. One guy's name is Pierre. Other guy's name is Josh. Pierre's video and Josh's photo. So every team has 2 video LCCs. And what we do is we basically split the field. So say like the Giants are, driving towards that way, right?
Right.
I'll be positioned like here in the corner of the end zone for the entirety of the drive. When there's a turnover or like an interception or something, I have to like haul ass to the whole other side of the stadium to get back in position, because we're basically there where like we can't miss any shots. And essentially if you miss a shot, then it's like the other person has to have it.
Right. So you said Keith is strictly photo, right?
No, so the Giants, Josh is strictly photo, but for the Jets, we only have 2 video people because the Jets photographer is like insane. And I mean, the Giants photographer, Matt, is also insane, but I think the Giants use the program more, so we just give them more people. But yeah, so basically, say last week I recorded a touchdown of Kyle Allen throwing to Cam Sims for the game tying score in the corner of the end zone. I ripped my card out of my camera. I put it into one of these things. Hold on. I'll put it into like one of these things, which goes into my phone, and the SD card goes in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll literally download it within a few seconds and send it into Slack. And that video is up on NFL social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter within 2 minutes.
That's awesome. That was going to be one of my next questions, is that how quickly are you able to put in content to get to these social media accounts? So that's crazy. And I never imagined that you would be like running around the stadium trying to get each drive. I thought that you would just be sitting in the corner of the end zone, and then you get those drives and then someone else gets them on the way back or something. But that's crazy.
Yeah, I run like 4 miles a game on average.
Damn, that's crazy.
With a 20-pound camera.
Yeah, that's tough, dude. But that's sweet.
Yeah, something that you can like look at now that you'll be like, oh, this is really cool. On game days, on Sundays, go to the NFL Instagram stories, and all the videos that you'll see are all of LCC content.
Right.
So you know exactly where those came from now.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, because I know that you would repost some stuff, either whether it's Giants or NFL, like minutes after it happens. So I'm like, okay, he's got to like get this content in and send it like immediately, and then they've already got it put up. Like, so obviously there's a lot of legs that go into that, but that's sweet for sure.
Definitely.
So do you ever like get stressed out trying to get those shots? Because you kind of laid it out for me where I can understand that like you sort of got a sheet that'll tell you like, hey, get some of these shots and get some of these. So I guess that sort of makes it easier in a sense, but also probably makes it tougher. Like, are you ever overwhelmed, like trying to make sure that like you can get all of these and make sure that you get this touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone, which otherwise?
Yeah. So for pregame stuff, it's really not that stressful, because I would say on average for a 1:00 Sunday game, they're going to use like one clip of yours pregame, because basically they'll highlight around the league like, oh, like say for example last week, like Chase Young is back. Sorry, my mom was walking in. So like last week or 2 weeks ago, I think I remember like Chase Young was back. So like a guy got a video, and it will just be him like doing a warm up, and they'll probably give you one from each game. During the game, it's a little more stressful because you have to have that touchdown. Like you need to be in position to get that. And it's like, regardless of like where you are, you need to be like recording it and getting it. When the Cardinals played the Jets, this was kind of just like the first time I ever like missed something. It was that 50-yard like crazy pass from Kyler to Nuke. And I was like focused on Larry Fitzgerald, because in my camera, I could only see one guy streaking down. But I completely missed the guy coming down literally on the sideline. And so I ended up missing kind of that angle. And I was just like so pissed. And I
Yeah.
just remember, I was like, this like can't happen ever again. So I guess it's kind of like, it was a good learning experience because
Right.
I just like now know exactly like how to be positioned and like when to be shooting. But yeah, like once you get the hang of it, it's honestly like pretty easy.
Right. For sure. So walk me through like a typical week for you. Like obviously, like either whether it's Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whether it's Sunday, Thursday, game day. Um, so you obviously you're there shooting that, but like outside of that, sort of either getting prepared or getting your content sent in throughout the rest of the week. Like is it typically pretty packed, just like due to one game on a Sunday? Like the rest of the week you'll have stuff to do prior to that, or is it more so just either day or the day after, just getting shit sent in, or how does that go?
Okay. So today is what, Friday? So
Friday.
today I got my lens for the weekend, my big ass lens,
Yeah.
100 400. So we'll get equipment on Friday. We'll get shot sheet on Friday. Sunday we get to the stadium 8:30 a.m. Usually it's like 4 hours prior to kickoff.
Okay.
Shoot the whole game. I'm usually there until like 5:30, I'd say. I upload all the clips during the game that like my best stuff. But then when we get home on Monday, you upload all of your stuff to this like content. I don't even know what it is, like the cloud. And then the only other responsibility is we have to like track our content. So like, for example, like this week, NFL posted like 3 of my videos, and we basically just have to link them and like explain, like describe what the clip was. But yeah, it's not too much.
Good. Nice. Some advice that you may have for younger people who are interested in the industry or not sure what they want to do, or if they're questioning whether, I don't know, just something that you like, I guess advice to your younger self. I would put it. Is there anything that you wish you would have known going in, or anything that you wish you would have done differently to get to where you're at today? Obviously, you're in a great position. So, I mean, if there's nothing at all, that's understandable. But if there's any little, like, you know,
That's a good question. I would say just like trust the process. Like everything works out. If you really want something, like go after it. Like all these kids just like sit around and try to find internships through like the normal way. And I think that like if you want to set yourself apart, like be like creepy and like get in these people's
sure.
DMs and like see what happens. Because the worst thing that can happen is no. And I feel like if it's like if it goes well, like you'll set yourself apart for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, rather than just sitting back and waiting for something to come to you, I mean, it benefits you if you went out and try to find these opportunities. I mean, depending, like you said, like the worst thing that's gonna happen is someone's like, no, sorry, like that spot's filled, something like that. But
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Um, do you have any regrets with your career choice? Obviously, I think you'd rather be doing this than sitting in a cubicle right now doing I mean anything else, but this is definitely like this is your number one. Like you're pretty content with what you're doing now, I'm sure.
Yeah. Like this was like my biggest dream to like film professional football. So no regrets. The only thing is I just like when you achieve your goals so quickly, like you have to just reevaluate and try to find bigger goals that will try to
Right.
keep you pushing forward. Like, so I've just decided like I want to be filming like NBA games, NFL games, like Olympics. Like I want to be filming like all the, best, biggest sporting events in the future.
Right. So that's the next step for you, is trying to broaden what you can do. I mean, not just strictly NFL, just open it up to a bunch of different shooting opportunities. And that would be like your end goal.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Sweet, man. Well, I think that's all I got, but thank you so much for talking to me.
Of course, bro. What is this class?
It's actually just writing 150. I just got to interview someone in the field that I'm interested in. So,
What do you want to do?
that's a good question because I honestly have no idea.
Just
I just know that it's something within the sports industry, which is obviously like a super broad spectrum.
Mhm.
But I mean, I've also got some time to figure out. I've already got an internship in Valpo, where I'm from originally, with the parks department with one of a guy that is my boss typically when I just like worked at the golf course and stuff. So he's like business operations, like sports management there. So I have a degree. Well, I'm earning a degree in sports management. So
cool.
something inside of that, whether it's communications or whether it's something in the front office. I mean, I'm also interested in like marketing and stuff like that. So it's really just like a matter of time to figure out and sort of dip my feet in a bunch of different stuff that I can hopefully figure out what I like the most.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I literally couldn't recommend anything better than just like trying shit and like
Yeah,
see.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, man. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Of course, bro.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll catch you later.
All right.